Welcome to Back Issues. I'm Tiffany.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
And today we're going to be doing one of the first Marvel books I ever read. This is the book that made me fall in love with Doctor Strange.
Nice.
This is it. This is the book.
They had a Sorcerer
where it all
Supreme
began.
fireman calendar?
Is the book, yeah. Hello, Doctor Strange! Yeah, I hate horizontal books, so no. One of those books that Sal was like, you should check this out, you might dig it. Mm-hmm. And he was right.
This is quirky and weird. You'll like that.
What? Shut up.
Much like you and he are quirky and weird.
Right.
Yeah.
In fact, I love it so much that back there is a 1602 Doctor Strange statue. That's mine.
Nice.
And I adore it.
That's Doctor Strange?
Yeah.
You know, I never put it together. I always thought that was Ra's al Ghul.
No.
It does kind of look like Rachel.
The facial hair.
Like fair and
Very similar.
Well, you know, I'm just like, you can only have so many beards, guys, okay? You know? It's by Neil Gaiman with art by Andy Kubert, but I'm also going to mention Richard Eisenhower.
Hey, when Sal's here, he goes, Andy Kubert.
Well, Sal ain't here.
Like, you have to say it in a weird British accent. I don't know why he does that.
Because of when he met Dave Gibbons is British, and so Sal had a poster for him to sign, and he like gave it to him, and like his wife was there, and he's just like, oh, look at this. This is that book I did with Andy Kubert.
So since then, he's always been Andy Kubert.
Yay! When Sal's also here, he gives us candy during the show.
Yeah, and money. Lots of he just hands out money.
I've been on the show with Sal. This is all fake. Just because Sal's physically not in the building right now. You can't pull one over on me. You know, I'm starting to think that nap time you wanted earlier isn't real either.
What?
I'm also going to mention Richard Eisenhower because he did the digital painting in this, and I'll explain why that's important.
What does that mean?
I'm going to explain to it.
Oh.
You just said it.
I just said I'm going to explain it to you. We do have 2 copies of it. This is the copy we're going to be using because no one's touching this one. This is my hardbound edition signed by Andy Kubert. It's a beautiful version of this book. Yeah. Really like this one. I took the dust jacket off of it because how much cooler does this look?
It makes it so much more like a novel.
Just looks so much cooler. Although there was like a special cover that went with this, but I still like this better. Anyway, the reason that I wanted to mention Richard Eisenhower is because Andy Kubert art in this, first of all, is spectacular in my opinion. But what they did was they did what they call enhanced pencils, which they also used his on Wolverine Origins. So basically what it is it's his finished pencil work, skips the inker, goes right to the painter or to the colorist.
Okay.
And so what you get out of that is a more fluid look because like the inker isn't there like reinterpreting the lines. So Richard Eisenhower, they call him like, you know, the digital painting because like he did a lot of work in this as well because he didn't have like inks to go off of. It's just the pencil work.
A lot more work for the...
So spectacular. Yeah. The other thing to note is this book, they decided to do like movie theater, or like not movie theater style, but they used a movie theater poster artist for the covers by the name of Scott McCowan. What's nice about them is he did them all on scratch boards because they wanted to capture that Elizabethan sort of style in a way. So all the covers are scratch boards, black and white, and then a colorist came in and digitally colored them. So like this book is like, nah, it's all like special and done in like very like specific ways. So when you pick it up, it's a very like specific feel you get from it.
Yeah.
Is a scratch board when you're taking material away?
Yeah, so it's like a blackboard and then you scratch it off. And so he did them all like that.
I did one of those in art class once.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Did you do, was it like this? What did you make?
I don't remember. It was really bad.
A little backstory on this. At the time, August 2001.
Not 1602.
Not 1602.
Oh, wow.
August 2001, Joe Quesada approaches Neil Gaiman because he wants him to write a comic for Marvel. Neil hasn't written a...
He'd not written one before this.
He had. He wrote Sandman.
Oh, okay.
But he hadn't written one in a while.
In a while, all right.
Since that had ended. And he was just like, all right, I haven't done this in a while. Don't forget I said it was August 2001. September hits.
Yeah.
And everything kind of changes, right? And in the wake of the events of September 11th, Neil Gaiman decides that he will in fact write this comic, but he's going to write a comic that he doesn't know what he's going to write yet, but it's not going to be a comic in which might equals right. In fact, might won't equal anything. And so instead, he takes a trip over to Europe and he decides to write a story kind of about intrigue in the Marvel Universe and all this. And so like he wants to set his story there. So that's kind of like where we are. 2003, this book comes out. It is 8 issues long, and it's a complete story.
Yep.
There it is.
So it didn't come out in issues.
It did. It came out in 8 issues, but
8
like
issues, yeah.
that's it. Like it's just 1 through 8. They do write like other books, but he didn't do them.
Okay.
I was gonna say, did they continue the story?
No, like they kind of like here and there, but other artists,
fill in stuff.
other writers did it, and like in an interview, Neil said something like, "Hey, they're good, they're fine."
Right. Like the most restrained.
Yeah, like
like,
very like
yeah.
no, they're fine.
I read them.
They exist.
They are books that were written.
Yeah, exactly. This story begins in 1602 in England in the court of Queen Elizabeth. So we are going to make some historical references here and there. He does try to keep with it.
I'm already out.
I know only so much about this time period to myself, but I do know that like Neil Gaiman over time became a big, like he's really into history, but he realized it way after he was out of school. So like it's just kind of on his own that he researches things. But like, so like occasionally he's going to probably take detours just to make it fit. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's a comic book or whatever.
Right. It's not.
Wait, you're
what
telling
really
me this didn't
happened.
actually happen?
It might have.
It didn't even happen in the Marvel
I
universe,
can't look.
right?
I can't say for sure. I wasn't around in 1602.
Right.
Queen Elizabeth is in like close quarters, speaking with her intelligencer, Sir Nicola Fury. Basically, Sir Nicholas and she are talking about how like there's such strange weather lately.
Strange weather.
Yes. There's like thunderstorms, but like the thunder's so loud that it could deafen, that kind of thing. No rain falls after it. Other areas, like places are flooded. Like things are just really out of whack.
It's like the end of the world.
Yeah, and like some people think that. Like they think they're like Judgment Day is coming. Basically, Fury's like, I really can't say if the world's ending. That's not really my department. And that's about the time that Doctor Strange shows up, and he's just like, that would be more of my department. Doctor Strange is the Queen's physician.
Okay.
Well,
that makes sense.
That makes sense.
But he's also a magician in this.
And that also makes sense for that time period, I think.
Yes.
Did he have a horrible accident or his hands were...
We don't actually get into his origins even remotely.
Okay. He's just there.
He's just there. And like, Elizabeth's at the end of her life, basically. And so naturally, she replaces her physician with a magician. Because she's just like, anything, I'll take it.
Right.
I don't care. We're just going to
keep this going.
Just as long as we can. Just every drop of life will be mine.
I don't care how many frogs and rodents and stuff you have to murder to keep me alive.
Just keep me going there.
Okay, but you're going to have to eat them, too.
Yeah.
Whatever, man.
No, I don't care. Basically, Fury and Strange have a little bit of a dick measuring contest because Fury's like, I don't believe really in magic. And like, Strange is like, we're here really to help me. Because like, I know you like, know everything and you hear all like and all that, but like, you don't like talk or converse with those who I converse. He's just like, trust me, I know pretty much every conversation you've had within the last month. So like, I know what you're about to tell me. Basically.
By the way, in this time period, it's a codpiece measuring contest.
You're a codpiece. Out of Jerusalem, the holy city, an old man is bringing something that could potentially fix what's going on. And they're bringing it to Elizabeth's court.
Okay.
And Strange needs Fury to make sure it gets there. He's like, I need you to send one of your guys. I don't care. And like, Elizabeth's like, you two got this. I'm gonna go die over in the corner. She goes to bed, basically. And like, Fury's like, all right, I got that. Like, that's totally cool. And they like part ways. And Fury's like, I'll take care of this. I'll send a guy out there. It's totally cool. And he goes off and he goes to this tavern where his ward is, or his squire, whatever you want to call him, because technically he's a sir, but whenever I think squire, I think like knight in shining armor, but like it's a squire. And like his job was to procure a room at the inn that would have no fireplace lit, and like the lanterns, they'll be able to put them out and all that stuff, right? And so like he's done that. And we see him like looking at like this table, and on the table is like a little spider, and he's like fascinated by the spider. And the innkeeper this the spider, killing it immediately. And Nick shows up, and he's just like, Peter, is the room ready? This is his ward, Peter Parquois.
Parkour.
No. Not quite.
I mean, it would really fit with his character.
Right?
Doing flips and shit.
Exactly. Oh, he's a young man at this point. Also in the inn is a minstrel, a bard of sorts, singing songs. He's Irish. He sings horribly. Most people pay him to stop singing. It's a pretty good gig.
Is his name Banshee?
No, it is not.
Deadpool?
No. He wears a crimson cloth across his eyes for he's blind, you see.
Oh.
And as Fury and Peter go upstairs to the room, he goes outside to an alleyway. And Peter's like, I don't understand. Like, if it's dark in here, how will our man find us? And he's just like, don't worry, he will. And Peter's like, oh, but it would take a devil to come up to this window because they're pretty high up. So then he does like this crazy flip up there. When he gets up there, he says like, if the devil is one who dares, then I'm happy to play the devil. And I'm like,
I wonder who that could be.
then anyway, basically he's the guy who's gonna bring it in. Like he's heard word that like, yeah, like he knows what's coming. And like earlier when Fury is talking to Strange, he's like, listen, if I know what's going on, you can bet your boots, so do the Russians and the Spanish and like lots of people, and they're gonna be going after it too, okay? So let me handle this.
Right.
You like,
you need me.
Yeah, you need me. So like our blind friend here, it's Matt Murdock. Okay. It's just
Oh, it's Matt Murdockus.
No, it's Matt Murdock. Like he's just Matt Murdock.
It's like,
we
all
can't
right.
make this anymore,
Well, I'm done coming up with names.
He's just Matt Murdock.
Yeah.
So he knows too that others are coming, like the King of Spain, the Tsar, Count Otto Von Doom.
Yay!
Peter's like, the handsome? He's just like, yeah, what? Who cares? Anyway.
I hear he has a face clad in silver.
Right? Well, our blind friend here, who they don't know who it is and they can't see him because it's dark, goes like, I've never seen it. So I was like, because he's blind.
Because he's blind.
Anyway, he's...
As a bat.
Yes!
Like Batman. It's Batman, right?
Yeah, it's Batman. You nailed it. So anyway, he's going to go meet the old man. And he's going to bring him and the cargo safely to England. And that's the plan. Pays him a diamond the size of a cherry stone, and he's promised a second one upon completion.
Nice.
Back at Stephen Strange's home in the village of Greenwich, his wife greets him, who is Clea Strange, because, yes.
Yeah.
Because why wouldn't they be married here?
Yes, of course.
So this is your favorite book ever.
I really like this book. All right, whatever. So he wants to find out some answers about the storms that are coming and all that stuff, and so he's gonna astral project, but like he does it in a different way that we've seen really, where he uses like mirrors and stuff like that, and the idea is that he'll set them up, he'll astral project, she is meant to ask questions, and then he'll answer them. It's like kind of like scrying, but not.
Right.
So where's he projected himself to?
All over, because like he's just gonna let it take him. The idea is that like
Okay.
his astral projection will like answer the question that's asked.
Okay.
So she asks what's causing the weather, and like initially he doesn't respond, and she's like, "Where are you, Stephen?" And he's just like, "I'm flying over a ship over the ocean, and it's called the Virginia Maid, and on the deck I see the maid herself, and there's like a big, tall, white, blonde Native American guy behind her." And he's just like, "Oh, now I'm off to like somewhere else." And she's like, "Where are you now? Like, how may the darkness be lifted?" Right? And off he goes, and he's under this mountain, and he's like, this mountain, like I'm somewhere where like earth and air, water and fire are meant to be kept, and then he's gone from there.
That's wonderful. Stephen, where's the money for our rent? Where did you put that?
Stephen, you said you'd find my shoe. I have one shoe. Where is the other one? Anyway, I'm in the tower, and he sees himself.
That is so you may not leave the house, good wife.
Exactly, you're tethered here. There's a tower he goes to, and in the tower he sees an angel, essentially, a man with wings. Like roped up.
And we saw that before.
Yeah.
I didn't want to mention it though.
Yeah.
No, because I was gonna it's such a useless page.
Yeah.
Like,
it's just like, and there's an angel guy.
Gaiman,
and moving on.
Yeah, well, Gaiman tells this story like it's like semi-Shakespearean in a way where it's like we're here, and I'm like, oh my god, keep it together. Anyway, he sees in the courtyard too. There's like all these stakes, and he hears and sees the ghosts of those who've been burned there.
Oh.
And
Gross.
then he goes further in, and there's a priest and a woman in a red nun's uniform kind of thing, and they're conversing, and then she looks up, and she can see his astral projection, and she banishes him.
Whoa.
And he comes back, and he's all sweaty, and she's just like, let's go to bed.
Well, that was fun.
Right, and essentially they end up having a conversation about like, hey, if Queen Elizabeth dies, and King James takes over, who's King of Scotland at the time, and who was not a fan of magic, and I believe traditionally was not a fan of magic, like historically speaking. So like he utilizes that. What's gonna happen to us? And he's just like, trust me, I've been thinking about it. I don't know.
Right.
So anyway,
Also, I'm really glad you didn't ask me when I was in my astral projection phase and I had to answer truthfully.
yeah, exactly.
We're fucked.
It would have been real bad, right? Like, or like,
Well, I'm fairly certain we'll be drawn and
or like-
quartered, and stakes will be put into us, and they'll flay us alive.
it's like, cool, thanks. Or like, Steven, when we were at the inn the other night and that barmaid came over and you said you weren't checking her out.
No, I must change my body!
Exactly. So then we go to one of the locations that Stephen astral projected to in Dom Daniel, Spain, where we meet the Grand Inquisitor, because it's the Inquisitions, you see.
Nice.
Let's begin.
Exactly. And he's conversing with the nun that Stephen saw, and she mentions that like something happened. He's just like, what was it? She's like, I don't know, it was probably nothing. And then he turns and there's a young man there named Petrus who addresses this woman as Sister Wanda.
Yep.
And they start talking about like, what did King James say? Because the idea is the Inquisitor is trying to form an allegiance with King James.
Yeah, okay.
And King James isn't a huge fan of the church.
Okay.
Is it because the Inquisitor bends metal to his will?
Well, it's because the Inquisitor hates the witch breed, which we'll learn about, and is looking to get rid of them. And King James also has those desires.
Okay.
And so if we bring our forces together, maybe we can do that, except King James is like, I'm Protestant. I don't really like working with
Right,
you.
okay.
So...
Like we have this common enemy,
Exactly,
but otherwise
because, like-
I
But
don't
at the
like
same
you.
time, once I'm done, I'm going to turn my power on you.
Right, well, it's more or less like King James is like, but I'm going to become the king of like everything soon, so like, why do I even need you? I'm just saying. And like, basically...
My mommy says I'm gonna be king.
Yeah, like, so...
I don't need you.
I don't need you. Well, he's already the
Nah.
king of Scotland, but
Yeah,
he
that's
knows
true.
the queen's going to die, and he's going to
Right,
get
and
the
he's
throne.
gonna-
King James does admit that there is potential for an alliance, but they would have to remain hidden away from the world.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it would have to like look more like the witch breed did something real bad, so everybody rallied behind them. And so like, that would make more sense. Like an alliance would make a little more sense then.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so like the Inquisitor's like, that's cool. We'll make them think that they're gonna blow up Parliament. And won't that be awesome? And Petros is like, are they really thinking about doing that? And he's just like, what? Are you dumb? Like,
Say 5 Hail Marys and a couple of bitch slaps, and then
like-
get back here.
all right, fine. Yeah, pretty much just like, whatever. And then he's just like, anyway, I'm gonna go to bed. But like, we are gonna burn that guy in the tower in the morning. And I was thinking to myself, maybe we should like dip his wings in like pitch or wax. And he really goes up.
It's messed up.
And he's just like, I'll figure it out in the morning. And he like, goes to bed. And then we go to another one of the locations that he went to, which is the Virginia Maid, which is a ship sailing on the ocean. And we meet Virginia Dare, who is a historical person, potentially. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, but there's also a myth behind her.
Yeah, the
It's
Roanoke colony.
Yeah, well, there's another myth behind her. And Gaiman pulls that into this, which is genius.
Okay.
So she's from Roanoke. And she has been sent home by her father because Roanoke needs some help. They need more people. And they need some money and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So they send her home because the idea is that, like, nobody cares about what an old, grizzled colonist has to say. But they're going to be really excited about Virginia Dare, who's the first white person born in America or in the colonies. They're like, that's cool. They're going to be really excited about that.
She's like a celebrity.
Yeah, kind of. And like maybe they'll be more open to our plight. So they send her and her guardian, Rajhaz, and he like has been with them the entire time. Basically, like we'll learn later on that like Virginia talks about how like when they got to Roanoke, it was real bad because the winter came and they really weren't ready for it.
Right.
And like the natives arrived, and a lot of them remember when Francis Drake showed up. And they were like, that sucks. You suck. Except Rajhaz, who was like, I'm going to give him a shot. I'm going to try to help him out. And he helps them hunt. And he teaches them how to grow things. And he teaches them when to grow things and all that stuff.
Right. He takes pity on them because they're so pathetic and horrible
And they suck,
at what
yeah.
they do. Yeah.
And so he makes it so that they survive their first winter.
Right.
And so now they're like, okay, cool. We did it. We're good. Like, you should send more people. And we could use that. It would really bolster the colony. And so Rajhaz goes with them because like he's been with Virginia for a while because her dad is, of course, the leader of the colony. So like she's had the most interaction with him. So she's also concerned because she's kind of like, what am I going to say to the queen that's going to make her like, I'm like
Right.
10.
Yeah.
Like, hey.
Yeah, I feel like they should have sent like someone with her
Right.
to like help her.
Like, hey, you'll be fine, kid.
No,
You're
like
good.
do the
you're already a
talking.
dignitary. You're gonna do it because you're the first person born.
Yeah.
on the
Yeah,
throne.
You're
you
good.
just naturally know what to do.
Yeah, you're good. You're good, kid.
You're
God
born
will
for
intervene.
Exactly. But she also is concerned because she has her own little deep dark secret, and she's afraid she might end up hurting people. So while this is all going on, Fury and Peter are returning from the inn. They go past this temple, which was built by the Templars, and Peter's like, "Why are we going this way? Why are you taking me down this dark alley, creep?" And he's just like, "Well, we should learn about the Templars a little bit here, Peter, because you clearly don't know anything about them." And by the way, Peter being his like squire here, essentially, like Peter's parents used to work for Nicola Fury here.
Okay.
And died.
And they died, and he went to go live with his aunt and uncle. And then one day, Nick came to offer him a job, basically, into an apprenticeship in a way. And so he leaves with Nick, and he'll occasionally send money to his aunt and uncle, that kind of thing.
Yay! The one story that Uncle Ben is still alive.
But
Not for long though.
but Peter has desires to like be a tinkerer or like build things.
Okay.
But he's
He's smart.
he's smart, and he'd like to do that, but he knows that that's not where his path is right now, not with Nick Fury.
Right.
So we learn about the Templars, that they came from, Jerusalem, and they're powerful organization of Christendom, and they had this big thing, this secret treasure thing, and then the King of France shows up and destroys them all, except for some of them that didn't get destroyed, who either ran or
The treasure's never found because they escaped with
basically.
it.
Well, yeah. So the idea is actually they eluded them and remained in Jerusalem, and that's the treasure that's being moved, and blah 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 blah. And Fury's just like, also the reason we're here is because this is a really great place to get rid of the guy who's been following us. And then out of nowhere, this
On
dude
cue, he
in
comes out.
a big green outfit with
Yikes.
cloak comes flying in and tries to stab Fury, and it's the Vulture.
Yay.
And he shows up, he stabs Fury, the knife bends, and Peter's like, what? And he's just like, I'm metal and leather, chainmail and leather. It's not magic, it's fine.
Right.
Anyway, so this guy's a jerk.
Hold your freaking horses, Peter. Calm down.
Yeah, pretty much.
Magic's not real.
Yeah, exactly.
Although this is mithril.
Yeah, so, dwarves and stuff. So they decide to take this guy back to the tower and
Torture him to death, sure. Yeah.
well, they just throw him in the tower. That's pretty much it. They live in the tower now.
Yeah.
So then we cut back to Spain, where our winged friend is being taken down from his cell and going to be brought out to the stakes, and they offer him a chance to say that he is born of the devil, basically, and they'll grant him mercy. And they're like, he's like, you won't kill me? And they're like, no,
We'll still kill you, but we won't burn you alive.
No, well, they will burn him alive.
Well, we'll burn you alive, but
But we'll wet everything around you so that the smoke knocks you out first.
Oh.
But we're still going to
Thanks.
burn you alive. So...
We have
And
we
that's
have
pretty
to
much what
burn
he
you
does.
alive.
Good.
That's the
flip 'em the
punishment.
bird?
No, but he's just like, I'm not going to do that. That's stupid. So anyway, they're about to set him on fire. And when we had checked in with them earlier, there was a couple of cloaked guys running around. And they're waiting for their moment to strike. And when they do, they spring into action. One of them starts making huge ice walls. And the other one has
Nice.
these red things over his eyes, and he lifts them up and he shoots crazy red beams out of his eyes and breaks the chains off. And he's just
Who could that be?
Right?
For a second, I thought that was Matt Murdock, and I'm
Right.
like, wait,
Oh,
he
'cause
doesn't
he
have
had a
red
red-
hair,
yeah.
but he does have the blind.
Right?
But no, it's
No.
entirely
So
different.
so then they're like, can you fly? Meet us on this boat. So they leave. Our two friends make their
Can you
escape.
fly? No, these wings are just for show.
Well, because they might have broken them. They don't know. They're like, are you good? And he's just like, they're a little cramped, but I'm good. So they blast a hole in the wall. The other two escape. They meet on this tiny ass boat. And
Thank God you're here. Can you give us some wings and propel us?
right, exactly. But they do have a boat, and the boat is moving at a great pace, but there's no sail down. So just note that.
Yeah.
So anyway, they're on the boat. The guy with the wings starts immediately just launching into a ridiculous list of questions, and
Right.
they're like, dude, chill out. All right, we got
you're safe.
we've-
You're
we
not
got,
burning alive.
Yeah, we
Maybe
got
just stop and
a
smell the
whole
roses.
boat ride here to answer all these questions.
Now that I'm fine, who are you? Why are you here? Where's Buttercup?
Exactly. So then he's like, they do introductions, and the guy with the red visor's like, I'm Scotius Summerisle. Summerisle. And this is my friend over here, Robert Trefusis.
What? Who's
Bobby.
that?
It's Bobby.
Oh.
Now, what we'll learn later on, and I hope I don't want to forget this, I'm going to tell you right now. What we'll learn later on is that his uncle, I think Bobby's here, was Sir Francis Drake.
Okay.
Okay.
Say where we get the because it's Bobby Drake, so Lineage. Anyway, and the person manning the boat is a young man by the name of John Gray. And so John Gray...
A young man.
Yeah.
Yes, a young man. Of course he's a young man. Don't look into it. Shut up.
Okay.
Named John Gray. And John is the one who's propelling the boat forward and, like, without wind. So they change clothes because, like, they can't be monks in England. They're fishermen, so cool, whatever. They get to the New World, or they get to the, you know, wherever. So while this is going on, and they're on their way to their destination, Nick Fury's like writes a letter to the Queen, kind of outlining whatever's happening, and she's like, I'm gonna go visit Carlos Javier at his school.
Yeah.
And
I love the name. This is fantastic.
right? And he's just like, I got some things to talk about him, so I'm gonna go. So he goes. He's greeted, of course, by a beast-like character who doesn't introduce himself but is very well spoken. And he's brought to Carlos Javier, who is, of course, a crippled man from Spain.
If they did a Quasimodo joke where he was like a bell tower ringer,
No.
that'd be so cool.
No. By the way, the name of the school is Master Carolus Javier's Select College for the Sons of Gentlefolk.
Okay. Just rolls off the tongue.
It really does.
I can't believe they didn't just keep Xavier. It's a very oldish name.
Well, he's from Spain, though.
Yeah. It's got to be a name that you could, like, believe
Right?
would come from there.
Right. So anyway,
Yes.
the two of them have like a back and forth, like a little like, you know, verbal like wordplay, like, you know, like ha ha about
Ooh,
like
a
what they
tete-a-tete.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I know what you're doing. I know who you are.
Yeah, that kind of like hinting at it, right? And then like he goes outside and he shows them the team who now have like uniforms, and he introduces everybody. Of course, Roberto, Scottius, Master McCoy, Werner, and who's, you know, it's Angel and John Gray. And we'll check in with them in a little bit, but they're going to basically like show Fury how they fight, almost like in a Danger Room scenario.
But over here in the peril room,
Right?
that we have.
No, actually,
It's the peril courtyard.
Yeah.
right? No, he. It's funny because like Carlos is like, I one day think to myself, like, maybe I could have a place where like dangers could like appear out of nowhere, and wouldn't that be awesome? And I'm like,
play out various scenarios
Exactly.
from thin air, conjured.
right?
Yes.
So let's
I
check.
call it a conflict basement.
Like the conflict chamber.
The conflict basement sounds like
Just,
like a fight club.
I
or
don't want to
something.
go down there. It's very-
Everyone, meet me in the conflict basement.
We don't talk about
it's not, you don't really
conflict
punch each other. It's more like you just, you know, it's kind of a passive aggressive area. Anyway,
So, Scottius,
yes.
you're such a dick.
Codpiece.
Sorry, you're such a codpiece.
Anyway, let's check in with Matt. Matt arrives in Picardy, where he runs into a woman who will be his traveling companion, who has made all of the arrangements for their travels. Basically, the idea is that like Fury wanted them to have horses like every 200 miles so that like they could just keep moving. So like fresh horses every 200 miles. It's all set up. She took care of it. Bam, they're gonna go. Her name's Natasha. She wears all black, and her husband died.
Well, who could that be? She's old maid.
They get well on their way when we get a little like origin story for how Matt became blind.
Okay.
Because he wasn't blind from birth, obviously. He went off into a cave. In the cave, he found some random green stuff.
Okay.
And it was like burning like fire. And so he took it and he ate it because
What
kid? Well, hang on, to be fair, this is a kid.
Yeah, he's a child, I guess.
He doesn't have TV
Right.
or a phone or anything,
And back then, you're always hungry.
right?
It's
Right.
the 1600s.
Right.
Come on.
Everyone's starving.
I'm sorry,
to
it's
death.
the late 1500s.
Right. Well, no, it's a 16.
Well, when he was a kid,
when
it
he
would
was
have
a
been.
Oh, yeah, that's true. So, you know, you put it in your mouth.
Yeah, you put stuff
see
in your
what
mouth.
happens.
Yeah.
So,
There
like,
were also turtles in that cave.
he ate those too. They didn't even get a chance.
Oh, man.
Sorry. Just told you he was hungry. Man.
Yeah.
So, as he eats it, and then he realizes like the cave's really dark, so he's trying to like get back out, and he gets outside, and he thinks it's nightfall, and then like he gets onto the beach, and he like ends up like collapsing and like sleeping, and his mother finds him on the beach the next morning, and when he gets up, he realizes that like this night will go on forever. We also are introduced to Otto Von Doom, who is also tracking this treasure. That's what's important right now. Is that like he's clearly
He just
looking
looks
for
the
this.
same.
That's amazing.
Well, I
What?
mean, it fits in all time periods.
Yeah,
You just-
yeah.
This look is good at
timeless.
all times. Yeah, it
Even
really
in the
is.
future.
Yeah. Like 1602, 2018,
99.
Yeah, I don't know. It's fine. It all works. I mean, I'm sure they'll change it then, but it could work. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You don't have to change a classic. So, back in Scotland, we check in with King James. Petros shows up. He basically relays the message to King James that, like, listen, we're in. Like, the Inquisitor's totally in. But here's the thing. Here's the deal. We are going to wreck these witch breed. But I want Javier and his. They're brought to me. I'm dealing with them personally. You don't get to do anything with them because you're a noob. And so, like, King James is like, all right. I mean, like, really, I'm going to be in charge. So, like, you don't really have a choice, but, like,
I also don't understand this concept of noob.
right? Exactly. Will I be poning you? But anyway, but then he starts to allude to the fact, he's like, if you really want all this to happen anytime soon, the old lady's got to die.
Right.
Because, like, I can't help you at all.
Not old
Right.
maid.
Until she's
No.
dead.
Queen Elizabeth.
Oh.
Until she's dead, I got
I'm
nothing.
nothing.
We got
Yeah,
nothing
I'm
here.
just king
so
of
you better,
Scotland.
yeah, you
That's
better
not
get
gonna-
going with that. He also like weirdly hits on Petros every time he shows up.
That is
He
weird.
keeps calling him like pretty man,
Oh.
He is a pretty man. I'm not gonna
and
lie.
keeps
I mean-
asking him to like hang out and stay and have a drink and stuff like that. And it's just like
Okay.
I'm not gonna judge, man. Peter goes to pick up Virginia because Nick has asked him to bring her to the Queen because it's time for her audience with the Queen. Shows up. Rajhaus is like, you can't go in. No, I don't know who you are, because he's overly protective. Gets in. He's just like, you gotta come with me. Rajhaus wants to go. He's not supposed to go. He goes.
Does Rajas become encased in metal at one point?
No.
Okay.
So
Is he anything?
yes.
Okay.
So don't try to like puzzle your brains. It's gonna come out. Trust me. In like maybe like 5 more page turns,
Okay.
you're gonna know who this is.
All right.
While that's going on, Fury talks to Javier some more after the whole battle with like the gifted gentlefolk
Right.
sons.
After they show off their
Yeah, they're
stuff.
like da da da. Anyway, and he's like, it'd be really like unfortunate if Queen Elizabeth found out about this, like that you're like kind of raising an army over here. And he's just like, what do you want? Because like
Right.
literally Fury came there to ask one thing,
Right.
did this whole thing just to get it over on him. And he shows him like the worst picture I've ever seen anyone draw of a person. And it's
That's
so
not a person. That's the vulture.
it's
That's
the
a vulture,
vulture.
yeah.
And he's just like, I need you to tell me like where this guy came from.
Okay.
So he's like, I want you to, he knows that he has the powers to get into people's minds. So he gives him the image, tells him where he is. He gets into his mind. He's just like, I can't tell you where he came from, but he's too angry. What I can tell you is he wasn't the only one. There's another one sent to kill the girl. And there's another one sent to kill the queen. And so Fury's like, crap. So meanwhile, Virginia Dare goes before the queen. She's just like, oh, how quaint. Look at you. You're like named after me or whatever. I don't know. Roanoke, cool. Your man there, Native American. I assumed that they're all like red skin with black hair. Does he dance? The others who came here danced for me. They did little dances. And then they got sick and died.
You are the worst, Queen Elizabeth.
And like he's like,
Really?
she's like, do you dance? And he's just like, protect her. And she's like, that's a shame. That's a pity. Anyway, before they really get to do anything, like out of like nowhere, another vulture comes out and grabs
Another
Virginia.
vulture?
Yeah, and like takes her away. And Rajhaus turns to the servant there and grabs his tray and flings it up
Nice.
into the air, hitting the vulture. He flies down to the ground or falls down to the ground. And he's got scratch marks on his face, and Virginia's gone. And then we see this image of this griffin, and you're like, what's happening?
What?
Rajhaus takes to the tower. He climbs up it. When he gets out there, he sees Strange. Because earlier, Strange was like hanging out with Clea and like doing whatever. And all of a sudden, he's just like, I'm gonna need a red candle and a black candle and some chalk and Nanette. And I gotta go to the palace. And she's like, why? And he's like, I don't know.
It just came to
I
me.
have to go though.
God damn it, Clea. I told you when this happens, it just happens.
It's just, I can't help myself. I'm not having sex with anyone else. Anyway, so he gets up there. He's like, hey, look, I know like you don't know me from anything, but like I'm totally here to help you. Do you trust me? And he's just like, sure. And like, so he gives Rajas the net and he sets out the candles and he's just like, okay. And then like the Griffin attacks Strange. They throw the net, subdue this Griffin, and then he casts a spell using the chalk and all that, and it turns back into Virginia Dare.
Right.
So here's the legend of Virginia Dare. Apparently, there's like an urban legend that on Roanoke, Virginia Dare like ended up surviving Roanoke and was taken in by Native Americans, and she turned into a deer, a white deer. And like she married one of them, by the way. And they desperately wanted to get this deer. They didn't know who it was. They didn't know it was her, but she was missing for a while, whatever. Hunt the deer down, strike her with a silver arrow, and when she dies, she turns back into Virginia Dare.
Okay.
And
Great.
it's like, oh, cool,
But
whatever.
she'll be dead.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
she was dead. But like, that's where this comes from.
Okay.
It's like he's
She
using this
transforms
this
into animals.
this myth
Yeah.
and like taking Virginia Dare and like keeping that.
Right.
So
but
like,
like deer are lame and like stupid. So like, what if she turned into a
well,
griffin?
the idea is that like she turns into many things.
Right.
She has turned into a deer.
Sure.
She has no control over it. It's just when she gets
just becomes
scared
a
or
random
panicked, it's just
animal.
poop. She likes to think that she's like, maybe I could control it sometime. Like, it's like, ah.
Okay.
So anyway,
Cool.
Why isn't she green? Because that's a different universe.
what?
Beast
Boy.
Boy.
Oh, yeah, no. Well, because there is actually a character that people say she must be, but like Gaiman says it's not. It's just literally he took the Virginia Dare legend and like...
She's just a new...
I just put her into this universe.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, Fury shows up. He's just like, what's going on? And like Strange is like, oh, she was hurt and I'm healing her now. So anyway, I'm going to take her back to my house and let's not ask any questions anymore. Bye.
You're healing her on the roof?
Well, because like she presumably found her up there, so he
Oh,
was like
'cause
healing
that's
her.
right, yeah.
So like they do take her back down and all that stuff, and like Fury ends up taking that Vulture and putting him in the tower, and so like
Now he's got 2 vultures.
yeah, now you got 2 vultures. Fury goes back down, talks to Elizabeth, tells her about this whole plot thing, and the idea is that like someone might be after her, and she's just like, yeah, but you've kept me safe from plenty of assassins. Anyway, get the hell out of here.
And bring back Strange. I want to live forever.
Well, he offers, he's just like, in order for me to find out where they came from, it would really be great if I could torture them. She's like, we're not barbarians, but like, do what you got to. And he's just like, sweet.
We're not barbarians, but I mean, like, we're kind of barbarians.
But like,
All
you
I'm
know,
saying is push came to shove.
Yeah.
just, you know, and she's just like, and where's the weapon? And he's like, it's on its way, don't worry. She's like, cool, now get the hell out of here, because Otto Von Doom's like little like group has shown up and they're bringing me a present, and they're always fun little presents, and I want my present. Bring me my present.
Doom's bringing you a present.
Yeah,
eh?
and he's done it before.
Okay.
He's done it before. There's a precedence for this.
Diplomatic missions, man.
Yeah.
So like, Fury demands to take a look at it. It's like this like mechanical like Pied Piper type thing.
It's some sort of toy.
Exactly.
It's some sort of toy, but there's a man inside.
There's a man in that toy. And then Fury's gonna send Peter to go talk to Strange and check on Virginia Dare, which is where we find out that like Virginia Dare has like turned into other things. He talks to Rajas about this. He's just like, you like in the best way he can, because like Rajas says like all of 5 words. So like Fury just really kind of asks the questions, and Rajas just kind of like, yes, no, yes,
Right.
like
He's
that
a
kind of
man
thing.
of few words.
But like typically she doesn't get this sick, and she's like super sick now.
Book jumps around quite a
Book
bit.
really jumps around all over the place. The Inquisitor gets a visit from one of the like a brother or whatever monk from like Rome, who's just like, hey, we heard you might be trying to like get with King James. Don't do that. His Holiness isn't like those of you who don't like go with his plans. You shouldn't be having your own plans. That's not cool. Tries to kill him. Has a dagger at his throat. He's just like, yeah, that's really unfortunate for you. That's a steel dagger. The dagger has a mind of its own. Ends up pushing the guy backwards. They're underground. There's like these crazy pits. The guy falls into the pit. It's Magneto.
Yeah.
Back with Matt, they end up getting to this place called Tyrol, where like it is pouring, and like because of how much it's been raining there, they haven't been able to get the fresh horses there, and their horses are exhausted, so they have to stay there. There's a bunch of soldiers there. Matt starts singing. It incites a fight.
What?
And like we just see Matt stand there as like bodies are flung back and forth, because it's Natasha who's taking care of them. Like he's just like, anyway. They steal the soldiers' horses and they take off on those. So they're still on their way.
All right.
At Strange's residence, Peter shows up. Strange is still astral projecting, or he's astral projecting again. He's on the moon. We see something on the moon. Let's put that away for a second. Anyway, a spider almost bites Peter yet again. This one's a black widow. Strange grabs it, and he's like, that one's poisonous, and he puts it in a little jar. Up at the tower, Nick Fury has a really cool moment where he basically shows up, the Vulture's there. He's just like, here's a sword. You tried to kill me before. I don't have my armor now. Take your best shot. and if you don't get me, you got to tell me who sent you. He totally kicks this guy's ass. He just kicks the crap out of him.
By the way, he's got fangs for teeth.
Yeah.
Not Nick Fury.
He got fangs
the
for
Vulture.
teeth and for
gross.
days. So
Also,
anyway,
Nick Fury stops a blade with his arm.
yeah, he's just like, no.
So it's just like, it's not just that he has good armor. He has some sort of...
No, it cuts him.
It does
It
totally
does
cut
cut him, but it doesn't,
But you
like,
also
cut his
see he's
arm
got like
off.
scars. He's like, he's done this before. What Vulture tells him is that he's like, who sent you? And what he tells him, he's like, Doom. And Fury's like, holy crap. And then we see the Queen, and there's like this noxious gas in the room, and she's gone.
Because the stupid toy.
This is the stupid toy. Sometime later, Virginia Dare wakes up at the home of Stephen Strange. She talks with Clea for a little bit. She doesn't know who she is. And she's weak. So basically, we kind of get a little more backstory on, like, first of all, what's been happening. It's our little recap page.
I know who Rajas is. He's a tiger. From Aladdin.
You nailed it, man.
Yes.
You nailed it. That's why he's so good with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're both beast people.
Yeah, and because he's a great protector. Nick Fury goes to visit the King of Scotland because he has to now, because it's just like, now this is going to be his king.
Yep.
The coronation ceremony hasn't happened, but there he is. They have a little, again, tete-a-tete, back and forth.
If only Queen Elizabeth had banged someone and left.
I know, right? But she didn't. And so Fury's like, it was Otto Von Doom. I know it was. And he's like, how do you know that? Do you have any evidence? But he can't tell him what his evidence was. Other than, well, he tells him that it was that guy, but like, there's a whole thing about like, he doesn't buy it because it's not enough evidence. And he's just like, actually, I've heard that it's the witch breed who did it. And that's what they decide. That's how they're going to pin them.
Well, because they just found her dead.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like there was anyone
Exactly.
saw a person like poison her.
Right. So he's just like, here's what I want you to do. I want you to take your guys and go to Javier's like school and arrest them all and bring them to me. So.
Okay.
So
So he has reason to think that they're witches.
Well, no, because remember, this is King James's plan with
Petros.
the
Oh,
Inquisitor.
right. You
Yeah.
told him,
So,
yeah.
like, this is what they're going to use to rally everyone behind killing the witch breed.
Yeah, the witch breed.
They don't have to
killed Queen
worry
Elizabeth.
about that, like, plot about, like, blowing up Parliament or whatever.
Right.
They're like, no, opportunity has provided.
All
Blow
I'm
up
saying
Parliament.
is,
That's
we
ridiculous.
do still have a whole lot of black powder, so we may as well blow up Parliament,
Remember,
too.
man. So anyway, what Fury ends up doing is sending forth Peter to tell Javier something very specific, to give them a warning about this whole thing. And there's a whole plan that's going to come out of this.
Okay.
And I guess, let me just tell you about the plan. Let me just jump ahead to the plan here.
Yeah,
'cause
let's just go to the plan.
Jesus Christ.
Skip to the plan.
Skip to the
chum.
plan. The plan is Peter goes to Javier's and he's like, hey, here's what Fury wants you to do. He wants you to give up.
I don't think they're going to do that.
So, and here's the reason why. If they fight back, first of all, they're going to look guilty. Second of all, if they kill a bunch of people, the people of England certainly will rally behind them.
Right.
If they run, they're just going to be on the run and they still look guilty. He's like, just come with me. I'll keep you safe. He's not in charge yet. I'm just going to take you to the tower.
Okay.
And they do agree to do that.
Oh.
So they agree to
Oh,
do
what's
that.
in the
I'm just going
tower?
to torture you like a little bit.
Just a little
like
bit.
Just a little.
Just a little bit. Just a little
I
bit.
have to. That's my
I
job.
can't help myself, right?
Look, I don't really want to be doing this whip.
Right?
I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
Whip.
Exactly.
This is just my job. I have to whip. I don't like this at all.
Right. I'm not getting any enjoyment out of it. I'm
Right,
just
right.
not. So,
Really, your cut piece says different.
before Fury goes in to collect Javier and his witch breed, he's visited by the spectral apparition of Strange, who's like, hey, and he's like, what are you doing here?
Yeah,
And
man, you can't
what,
do that,
What is
man.
that? What is up with that? And he's just like, you have to know your agent failed.
Oh?
And the Templar treasure is now in the hands of Doom.
What? That happens off panel?
No, because what I didn't tell you was that when Matt and Natasha are crossing a bridge, Natasha totally turns on him.
Oh,
He hasn't been telling her where they were going at their final destination, but they're almost there, so she ends up convincing him to tell him, and she pushes him off the bridge.
Oh.
Is it while he's singing?
Yeah.
Okay, to be fair, she may have just killed him for his singing.
It could have been both. It could have been both. So, but she's working for Doom. And we also find out, and we've heard that through ballads, that there is a tale of the ship the Fantastic.
With 4 mariners aboard.
Point for Ethan. Reed goes because he wants to explore the new world. He convinces his friend, who like I think is trying to escape whatever, to then captain the ship. There's a boy or a man who's escaping something that happened. I can't remember what it is. And the woman who's escaping a betrothal, she wasn't in love with the man.
Because he was a fish man.
And there's like a legend that goes about it, and like Matt will sing this song occasionally, and like what happens to them, right? And we discover that they were thought dead.
Okay.
And it turns out they're not. And Doom is keeping Reed and all of them.
Oh.
And like he's using Reed because under the threat of killing his friends, and he's using him for his mind. And like even though Doom thinks he's the best, he also won't tell anybody that that's where he's really getting all of his information from.
Right, like literally all my power comes
exactly.
from this guy.
So like he is like, here's the thing, like I killed the queen, blah 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 blah, and like so now everything's screwed. So you're gonna help me out even more so than ever, and like you're friends because like occasionally our good friend Ben Grimm, who's kept beneath the earth in like a very tight space, will like rock back and forth and like shake the earth a little bit. And then when he does that, Doom won't feed everybody for like days.
Wow.
So like it's punishment. So the idea is like they're all kept from each other. And if any of them screws up, everyone else suffers.
Right.
Is that Doom?
Yeah.
He is handsome.
That is Otto the Handsome there. So
I can see why he's so pissed off later on.
Right? By the way, this really has nothing to do with anything, but for some reason in this world there are dinosaurs too. So like in the new world there are bigger dinosaurs, and in the old world there are like smaller dinosaurs, but they're dinosaurs.
Well,
what?
There are still savages and
well, they're
savage
dragons.
lands.
It's just dinosaurs. They call them leather wings.
Leather wings.
Yeah, and there are dragons too, but they call these leather wings. So
all right.
It's just a thing. So we also get a little
There's
background.
magic going on.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna like thumb my nose at dinosaurs.
It's Gaiman. So I got to speed this up. So we also find out that how Virginia Dare got her powers. By that she finds like this weird infinity symbol out in like the woods, and she touches it, and then she transforms into a doe, and then blah. She from there on out, yeah, she can turn into things. But like this thing just exists out in like the new world. So
is it a stone or a gem?
No, it's literally just an infinity symbol.
It's an infinity
It's just an
symbol.
infinity
That's
symbol.
funny.
I know, right?
Cool.
So anyway, Natasha gets the treasure, and she
Whatever
arrests the man who carries it. His name is Donald. She arrests him. Matt Murdock shows up, attempts to get them. No, it
He
doesn't.
lived?
Yeah, he totally lived. He totally made it. They all get arrested. She brings everybody back to Doom. Doom's like, sweet, I rule. I'm great. We also see that Toad, for some reason, is part of the Vatican. He's so disgusting. And like he's like supposed to be helping out the Inquisitor and like all that crap, right? So all right, cool, whatever.
Yep.
So
They have a brother going on.
it's
The words are out of my mouth.
So anyway, Doom finds this like gold globe on the cart. He doesn't know what it is. It has like, it seems to radiate some sort of power. It's not gold. It's not glass. He doesn't know what to do with it. Of course, he talks to Dr. Doom. He talks to Richard Reed. That's his name. Richard Reed.
Reed.
Yeah, I think it's Reedus, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, about it, and like he's like, maybe you should just leave it alone since you don't know what it is, and it could make everything worse.
Right.
Just put it away, Otto.
Right.
Stop what you're doing. You don't need any more power.
Right.
All right, you got enough. Also, Natasha's banging Doom.
I was gonna say, is that Natasha?
Oh yeah.
All right.
I want you to note this column over here. Guess who's in there?
In the column?
Yeah, there's like a column of what looks like glass.
I'm assuming it's Sue.
Oh yeah, and you see what he's doing in front of it?
Standing naked in front of it?
Oh yeah.
Hey, Sue.
He keeps her in his bedroom.
Hey, Sue.
Wow.
And has.
I'm having sex with her, but I'm thinking about you.
Yeah.
That's messed up.
Yeah, that is messed up.
Jesus.
Yes. So there you go. Matt ends up giving us the backstory on like what happened with them. It's the same story, except instead.
That's great.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's an homage. They go through like a Sargasso instead, and it turns them into these things.
Okay.
And then presumably they died after they had their powers, but they didn't. So anyway.
Right.
The plot is now that the Javier's guys are in the tower. This is the plan.
Just call him Carlos.
It's Carlos. They meet up with Fury and Strange, and the idea is that they are going to like wage war on Otto because Strange knows that Otto is the one who killed the Queen. And like,
yeah, but why?
But what about Scotland?
Why do they care? You know why he does. Why does anybody else
because
care
then
about
they'll
the Queen of
release
England?
them. That's the plan. He's just like, if you do this for me, you're good to go. We'll just get you out of there because we'll all be traitors at that point because we went against the king.
Right.
So
right, but at least we'll have accomplished something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then I'll have cause to release you instead of just doing it because I know it's right.
Right. Well, no, he's just like, I need you now, and I'm gonna be a traitor, and you should just help me out with this, and it's gonna be super cool because otherwise you're dead
then
anyway.
They'll all go on the run after.
Yeah, because here's the thing, King James is gonna take over no matter what. You're all screwed.
Right.
You're screwed.
Because we're certainly not going to kill King James and fix that problem.
Right? No, of course not. No, we're not gonna do that. Fury's gonna go get a boat for everybody. Strange starts to collapse, and he tells Peter to take him home, and then Strange completely collapses, and in doing so, he is transported spectrally. This is, by the way, where the boat flows.
Yeah, that's
Cool.
Sweet.
Basically, Cyclops blasts his optic blast into the water, which projects, like propels them forward, and then John Gray lifts the ship up with Carlos powering his mind, and so that's how they fly.
That's awesome.
That's kind of cool.
So they're gonna go to Latveria.
Suck it, Scott. You're just a motor.
Well, he only does it for a second. They the
just
two
to
of
get
them, that's just to get them airborne.
Yeah.
So Strange is forced to astral project and arrives on the moon, where he's greeted by the Watcher.
Yay!
And they speak via mind, and basically the Watcher's like, hey, I gotta break this down for you real quick. We don't have a whole lot of time. I'm the Watcher. I've been watching forever. I'm kind of new to this. Your universe is kind of new. But here's the thing. Okay, so something's really messed up. And typically we don't really, like, interact with everything. But then, like, we all decided that we had to interact, so I'm interacting. So, and then he does, like, an entire info dump on it, where he basically explains that, like, this universe is the 616 universe.
Right.
Okay. But
Wait,
something's
so it's
messed
not a
up.
1602 universe. This is where it all started.
This is the 616 universe.
Huh.
And something's wrong.
Somebody messed with it.
It's time travel. It has to do with time travel. Something paratemporally happened, which caused a Forerunner to arrive, which just screwed up everything. And, like, his group, like the rest of the Watchers, seem to think that, like, this is what triggers, like, this will always happen, and it triggers the superheroes to occur. And so, like, this happened now, so the true superheroes are occurring. He believes something similar. He's like, this happened, and in response to it potentially destroying the universe, because it will destroy the universe, and not just this universe, because they realize it'll destroy all universes. And, like, he starts really getting, like, deep into it, to the point where Strange is like, you have to stop. I don't know what you're saying anymore.
Right.
My mind is being blown, and I need it to be here because I'm not actually here.
Exactly. So, like, Owato's basically like, think of it as an organism. This is, like, a threat, and so it triggered the superheroes to stop it. Like, it's an antibody. So, like, the other Watchers think that this is just how things progress. Owato thinks that this is, like I got a cut, and now the platelets show up to make my scab.
Right.
And so he's like, you guys are the platelets. You gotta
So I
fix
need
this.
you to figure this out.
I need you to freaking fix this.
Yeah.
And he's like, and he starts to
Stop
explain that he's like,
screwing
we've
around.
seen all these people before, and like, blah, blah. It's not supposed to be now, though.
Right.
And you gotta fix this. And like, you gotta send.
Well, what am I supposed to do?
You have to send the Forerunner back, and I don't know who it is, and I can't tell you who it is.
Oh, well, thanks.
And he's just like,
That's
and
super
also,
actionable
by the way,
information.
as a Watcher, and I just told you all of this, you're now bound to not tell anybody while you live.
Oh,
Hey, give me your pinky.
well, I
Give
didn't
me your
agree
mental
to
pinky.
be a Watcher. What are you talking
hey,
about?
Hey,
No.
do it. Do it. All right. You can't tell anybody now.
I pinky swore, damn it! So now Strange has to figure out how to tell them, but not tell
Without
them.
telling them, yeah.
Doom gets warned that these guys are coming. Okay?
Somebody ratted him out?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, there's a giant flying ship in the air. I think anyone might be able to warn
Right.
them.
No,
Yeah.
Petros warns them because the Inquisitor finds out.
Okay.
So he warns them that they're coming, but like they're far enough away and like whatever. So like start breaking the teams up. Like, this is what you're gonna do. This is what you're gonna do. Iceman really can't do anything because like there's no moisture in the air. So like he can kind of do a little bit here and there, but like he'll have another role.
Once they're back in England,
They didn't bring any water with them?
No, well, no.
You gotta drink, man.
Well, they need that to drink.
Well, yeah.
Angel takes Scotius and they leave. Now the two of them have had like a kind of grudge match going on because like Werner likes talking to John Gray, and Scotty doesn't like that he's talking to John Gray and all that stuff, right? So anyway,
hey, keep your underwear only wearing body away from my totally hetero life mate John.
Special friend.
Exactly.
John.
Special friend. Fury's also going to go down and help out, and Javier and John are going to stay on the ship to keep it afloat, and Hank and Iceman are going to stay on the ship because they're going to have to protect it.
They're going to guard the base.
First of all, Otto has cannons, and so like these creepy little things that he's bred, these little like guys, he has a breeding program. That's where the vultures come from.
Oh, gross.
He makes them. So anyway, but he also has these like creepy little guys, and they're going to shoot the cannons at the ship, right? Okay. While that's going on, a whole fleet of vultures comes in to attack. And so like Hank and like Iceman are going to stave them off. While this is happening, the Thing decides that this is his chance. He's had enough. He's just like, I got to give it a shot because like there's a crack in this wall that hasn't been there before, and he just starts going at it. He's rocking back and forth. And Doom's like, we're going to have to punish him later on, but it's going to have to be later.
Right, because I got to deal with
this. Because like, there's like a whole like fight going on out there.
Now is not the time. Damn it.
Exactly. While this is going on, Donald and Matt are up in the Tower of Dooms. And like he's like, I need you to try to get out of here, Matt. And he's just like, that's impossible. But don't forget, the Thing's now rocking things back and forth, and things are starting to shift in the castle. And so like he's able to pull free his chains, so he's able to get out.
Okay.
And they're really high up though, so he's just like, so here's what we're gonna do. He like busts open the wall with like his like inhuman strength, and he's just like, he takes Donald's chains, and like we've seen him do this before with like the like weapon he uses, where like the lines all over the place.
Yeah.
So they give us something like that, and they just jump out the window. And he saves them.
Nice.
And it's cool. The Thing's rocking back and forth, cracks the container that's holding Sue. And she attacks Natasha, who's looting because she's like, when am I ever going to get this chance again? And she knocks out Natasha, and she calls her a whore. So Sue goes and frees Johnny, who's being kept in that water place where he couldn't obviously use his power. And Johnny goes and frees Reed.
Yay.
So the Fantastic are back together.
Nice.
The crew of the Fantastic, I should say. There's a huge battle going on outside, right?
Awesome.
And like, Matt's like, okay, I got to get you out of here. And Donald's like, we have to get to the cart. I got to get my stick. And he's just like, I could have gotten you a stick anywhere, old man. Like, it doesn't
Sticks
matter.
everywhere.
You're going to need that as like a true walking cane if we don't leave now. And he's just like, no, hang on. And he takes it and he goes, bam. And they're like, hang on. Quick little note about where the stick came from. The Vikings brought this stick to Jerusalem on one of their pilgrimages.
Well, yay.
Awesome.
You remember Donald Blake? Yeah. The rain shows up. Now Bobby's in action. He's doing everything. He ends up causing an ice storm, which brings everything down, basically. The cannons can't fire. The vultures are down. Everything's screwed. Otto is totally toast. The Fantastic Four show up. It's over. And then Thor shows up.
Nice.
This is a great looking Thor.
Yeah, this Thor is badass.
Wow.
When, like, right before he shows up, Otto's like, I've got the orb. You're totally screwed now, and I'm going to use the lightning, and it's going to open it up, and it's going to be awesome. And Thor brings down the lightning, and it reflects right back into to Otto's face. And his flesh is just destroyed.
Yes.
So he becomes, of course, Doom. Natasha finds him and brings him inside, and he's like, cover my face.
She's like, I want to, but oh god, it's all bubbly and weird.
So now a ship of Thor, the Fantastic Four, Carlos is like gifted, and Fury leave, and Donald. Well, no, because he's Thor. So anyway, they leave, and they're like, okay, we really can't get very far, but they get far enough, and where they get to is basically the ocean, and they're going to set sail for the New World. Meanwhile, Petros returns.
We're just going to go.
Yeah, we got to leave. We have to get out of here. Well, because Richard's had a whole lot of time in that cell to start figuring everything out that's going on with the weird weather and all that stuff. And he pretty much comes to the same conclusion that the Watcher told Strange.
Right.
So he's like,
this isn't right.
He's like, we got to go to the New World. We'll get back to England. It'll be fine. We'll get back there at some point. We got to go take care of something over there. Trust me on this one. I've had like a lot of time. And it's so funny because he's such a dick about it. He's just like, she's kind of like, thank Doom for giving me all that time to be not distracted by you, Sue.
By the way, what did he even have you doing up there when he was in his room?
Right?
Like, what were you doing?
Yeah, I don't even care. I don't even know about those things. So back in the Spain, the Inquisitor totally gets screwed over. Toad flips on them entirely. King James comes. He's just like, you're all witch breed and you're arrested and you're going to be burned at the stake.
Oh.
Here's Magneto's whole thing. Yes, he was burning witch breed, but only those that were, it was very obvious that they were witch breed. Those that were, and he took and sent them someplace else.
I want to say Carlos's place?
No, we don't know where.
Oh.
I'm guessing it's like a Genosha kind of Avalon thing.
Yeah.
Sends him off there. We don't really find out about that. Meanwhile, Strange has also been arrested because he's a magician and a traitor. The Inquisitor and Wanda and Petros are about to be burned when they, like, he reveals that he has all these, like, secret things upstairs. They bring them out. His helmet's there. They chain them up. They were totally screwed from the get-go. They burn off his beard. And then he just uses his, like, magnetism powers, gets them out of there. Like,
you shouldn't have wrapped us in chains!
Exactly, but they don't know that.
Right,
James,
he hasn't used his...
Yeah, James isn't even there. They take Toad with them. He's just like...
James wasn't even there.
He wasn't even there. He's like, we'll deal with you in a minute. Meanwhile, Virginia Dare goes to see the king. She's like, maybe he'll help me. And they're like, you're not seeing the king. And then, like, they do let her see him. And then he's like, I'm not helping you. I don't have any money for that. I don't care. I don't care who you are. Get the hell out of here.
Your little colony can die.
He's like, you know what? No, maybe instead you'll just stay here and like I'll just keep you here as like an attraction. Won't that be fun? Because I'm a creep.
Yeah.
And he's like, also, Strange is gonna be killed because like, screw it. Because like, Clea Strange tries to appeal to him, like being like, please don't do this. Like he's just a philosopher. It's totally fine.
You don't want me to kill him? Well, now I'm gonna kill him like twice as much.
Well, he says,
I'm sorry, did you come out of the house wearing one shoe? Your husband is hereby going to be killed.
Exactly. Well, he's like, no, he's not going to be killed for being a magician. He's being killed for a traitor. So like,
it doesn't matter what you say.
It doesn't matter.
I got him multiple ways.
So then Clea's like, I have to get you two out of here. We have to leave. And she's like, well, but he's gonna kill him. And she's like, we have to stop him. He's like, if we try to stop him, we will cause because her plan is she'll turn into like a saber-toothed tiger or something, and then Rajas will ride them in there, and then and Clea's like, stop. That's just literally going to set the world on fire if you do that. You can't do that because they're going to know that witch breed are real, and they're going to burn anyone anywhere who might even be practicing any kind of witchcraft. Right. It's over. We can't do that.
Also, a saber-toothed tiger.
Yeah,
come on, that's inconspicuous. Go in as a spider.
Exactly.
And then give King James spider powers.
So, exactly.
And Peter's like, come on.
Well, Peter gets arrested too because he works for Fury. Fury fired him and told him to leave.
Okay.
And he didn't get very far. They arrested him, and they send what's his face? It's James's right-hand man, Bruce Banner, to go get him and bring him up top so that he can witness the beheading of Strange. So Strange is beheaded.
Really?
And they take his head and they put it on a pike on the Tower of London.
You gotta be kidding me.
And so then, he knew this was gonna happen, and he told Clea she'd do the following things. So Clea goes up and she takes the head and she brings it with him, and he can communicate now he's dead. So, because he's they did some pre-spells or whatever, he can now technically tell her everything because he's dead. He died to save them all.
Wow. He let himself get killed.
So Clea's now intimately involved with this. She has to get the head, Virginia Dare, Rajas, back to the New World.
Does she also freak out that he's dead?
She's really mad at him. She's like, I could have saved you. I could have gone in there and destroyed them all, because don't forget, she was Queen of the Dark Dimension.
Right.
She's really mad about this.
And guess what? It's always gray and dark in England.
Yeah, so,
cast all the different
exactly. I should have been in charge here. So they get on a boat, they go to the New World. Okay, so they're going to the New World. The Inquisitor and Wanda and Petros and Toad are going to the New World. They form their brotherhood at that point. They all change clothes too.
But Toad betrayed them, right?
He's bringing them anyway. He's just like, I'm going to find a use for you. It's going to be a shitty one too, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't matter. So we got those two ships going. The other ship with the whole huge group on it is going
so we
there.
got 3 ships now.
We got 3 ships. They're all going to the New World.
But the main ship called the Mayflower.
Right. And then it's revealed that Jean Grey is Jean Grey. It's a woman. It was a whole ruse.
What?
And
you gotta be kidding.
And it's revealed to, well, here's the thing. Angel really didn't know. And Scott was like, holy crap, you didn't actually know? And I was getting really mad and jealous of your relationship. Oh, I thought you were in love with her, and I didn't, because I'm in love. I wanted to be with her.
I was.
That's exactly what he says. He's like, no, you don't apologize. I was. And Scott's
But it doesn't. You thought she was a dude.
It doesn't matter anyway because Jean Grey dies.
What?
Because
of course she does.
She used too much of her power. Like I mean, to be fair, she did keep a boat afloat for like that freaking long. And
Also,
so
she's
she dies,
Jean Grey, so that's what she does. She dies.
right? And she's like, "Don't put my body to the sea." That's all she wants. It's just not to have
Don't
her
put me in the water.
Don't put me in the water.
Just burn it instead.
So they do, and so like Angel can't help because he's like too distraught. So the Human Torch takes the body up, and then Scott blasts her with his optic beams, which is like really messed up.
That is messed up.
And so she
It's
bursts.
concussive too. That's
Yeah, I
Well,
wouldn't-
well, she bursts into flames, and for a moment they think they see a firebird,
Wow.
and then she becomes ash and it's gone.
That's crazy.
So everybody goes to New World, including, I'm sorry, there's a fourth ship.
Jesus.
Because Bruce and Peter get sent to the New World because, like, Peter says that he'll serve the king because otherwise he's going to kill his aunt and uncle. And so, like, their job is to bring back Fury. And so they all get to the New World. And Clea's like, so, Virginia, we're going to go back to the New World. And here's the thing. Steven told me about this break thing, and I'm pretty sure you saw where that was. I'm going to need you to tell me where that is. And, like, the Forerunner is going to have to be sent back. And she's like, and he thought it was you, Virginia, but we all know that's not right, is it, Rajas?
Oh.
And all of a sudden he's just like, well, when you put it like that, Miss Strange, I guess she's not. It's Captain America.
What?
Rogers. Raj.
Okay.
And
Man
that's
out
why
of
he was.
time.
Man at a time, everybody.
That's why he was blonde-haired, white-skinned,
Yep.
and he's an American.
Yep, exactly. So we get the backstory. We get the Captain America backstory. It doesn't matter. We know that part, right?
Right.
And then what happens is in the far-flung future, he didn't age, but everyone else started to age. And then, like, they started to die. Like, superheroes were dying, and then superheroes were being killed, and superheroes were being hunted down because we suddenly had a president for life, and Steve Rogers fought against him.
Oh.
And they caught him inevitably, and the president for life said, I don't want him just dead. I want him gone forever. He can't ever come back. I want the ash. I don't even want ashes. And the machine they created to do that didn't kill him. It sent him back in time.
Okay.
And when he arrived, he was naked, and some Native Americans found him, and they took him in, and they didn't speak his language, and he didn't speak their language, and that's clear where the name comes from. And then he runs into the Roanoke folk, and now we're caught up.
Okay.
And he gives them a great idea for a flag idea.
Exactly.
design.
Yeah, he's just like, it's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet.
You don't want to hold on to this for a couple hundred years.
Right. Fury shows up in Roanoke, and he's just like, hey, hi, everybody. I think his name is Ananias, who's Virginia's dad, who's the leader of Roanoke. It's just like, hey, what's going on? Where's my daughter? And he's just like, yeah, I'm
How's the
pretty sure
queen?
she's been, not good. Not good at all. I'm pretty sure your daughter might have been captured by the King of England now. We're going to need to stay here. And she's like, I totally support you guys because I don't give a shit about them because they totally screwed us over. And he's just like, yeah, but here's the thing. What if they come back and then they're going to like blame you too? So here's what we're going to say. We're going to say we took over. And that way that keeps you guys safe.
Right.
So like they lay claim to Roanoke.
Yeah. But we are going to actually take over, though. We're not just saying
They kind of, they do and they don't. Like, whatever.
And this is going to be our little piece of the land where
Yeah.
it's ours and it's a haven for us.
Exactly. So, then the Inquisitor ship shows up, but they're ready for that, and like Bobby encases them in ice, and so the ship can't leave, and they're gonna deal with them later. They just leave them there. They're just like, screw you.
He puts them on ice.
Strange, Clea and Virginia and Steve Rogers show up. She has a cask which she's filled with rum, which has Steven's head in it because that was the way she kept it from rotting. She pulls it out, and she can now like communicate through them, right? Well, it is messed up looking too.
Gross.
So like he conveys what has to happen basically, and just kind of fills everybody in.
Yeah, you gotta get out of here.
Reed
Go.
is on board. He totally gets it. He's like, all right, I know what we have to do. They formulate their plan. Meanwhile, Donald's getting drunk because he is so upset about having used that staff because he's like, I'm a Templar. I believe in one God, and if what happened is true, and I saw it all, and I was in there, and I was with him, that means I betrayed everything. He's like, that means there are gods. The fact that Thor exists means that I know. So
And I was one.
Right.
Oh, God.
Right. So he's like really upset about the whole thing.
So he starts getting drunk on
yeah.
mead.
Well, he's just getting drunk on whatever's there. It doesn't matter what it is. So Virginia tells them where the thing is. They go out there. Reed looks at it. He's like, all right, yeah, no, this is, yeah, okay. So we're going to need like a couple of things. We're all going to get that. We're going to build a wall here.
And nobody touch it.
Yeah, nobody touch it. Nobody touch it anymore. And then we're going to send Rajah's back, and we'll be good. It'll be good. I mean, it's totally great. And this should, in theory, fix everything or destroy us all. I don't know.
They said in Raja's back, too.
To his time. He has to go back.
He has to go back.
Yeah, but he's got to go
to
back
where
to like,
everything's
the
messed
future
up
point?
and horrible.
Yeah.
That sucks.
You gotta go back. I'm sorry, man. You gotta go back.
I'm sorry, Mr. President. We tried to destroy him and send him back in time.
He just came back.
He vaporized. He's just back now.
And he's just back. Banner and Parkour, and
I like Parkour.
Parkour, I don't know. Show up. There's a bunch of guys. Those guys try to kill Fury. Fury kills them all. He threatens, like, the two, like, he and Peter have, like, a thing back and forth, and he's just like, basically Fury's like, my life's over. I don't really care anymore. So Peter, if you're going to kill me, you go ahead. You do what you got to do. And then Peter leaves, and he's just like, he's a good kid. He's a good kid. We'll come back to that.
His aunt and uncle, they're dead, though. So,
right,
you
yeah.
know.
No, they're
but I don't
who
care.
knows?
I'm still alive.
Who knows? So Carlos goes to talk to Eric, Magneto. Basically, they need his power. They need the power of magnetism. And they think that that's going to activate the thing in order to get
not
the Forerunner
the person,
through.
the thing, but the thing that they.
Yeah, not
ran
that thing.
it, yeah.
Well, I mean, maybe he'll.
The
I don't know.
Infinity
Maybe he
thing.
thinks it's sexy. I don't know. So they make a deal that, like, after this all is said and done, that basically he's just like, you'll agree to whatever terms I want. I'm not even gonna tell you what they are. The terms are that, like, he and his brotherhood can leave, and, like, Javier won't follow them.
Okay.
And, like, it's fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
Who cares? That's
Good.
that's-
I didn't
yeah.
want to hang out with you anyway.
Exactly. But the thing they need is, like, lightning, and the only way they can do that is with Donald, and, like, so they convince him to turn back into Thor, and so he does. And, like, they're running out of time, basically. And so they're like, okay, so we're going to open the thing, and then we're going to send, we're going to use the lightning, and then we're going to send Rajas back. Where is he? He left. He bailed.
Yeah.
Because, like, his plan is, he's just like, no, you don't understand. I'm going to rebuild America better so it doesn't go the way it went.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to keep Bucky alive, and we're not going to get involved in World War II.
Yeah,
In
and
fact,
at
I'm
this-
just going to go over and kill Hitler.
At this point, he's got full-on America. He's got the paint. He's doing the whole thing. He's just
That's
like there.
awesome.
And he's just like, nobody has to die. I'm going to fix it. It's going to be great. He's just like, Virginia is America. Don't you see? It's going to be awesome. I'm going to totally remedy this whole thing.
And when she gets older, I am going to plow her.
Like you wouldn't believe.
I am going to do America.
He's going to be like, turn to that griffin. It's hot. Anyway, so Fury's like,
In
hey.
fact, can you be an eagle?
Fury's
Can you
like,
spread eagle as an eagle?
no! Fury's
I
like,
want to take wings and fly.
oh my God. Fury's like, here's the thing. The universe is going to just be destroyed. It doesn't matter. You're not going to have a chance to build America.
Right.
He's like, do you trust
Can't build
me?
America if it's destroyed, if the whole
He's like,
universe is gone.
just come down. I just need to talk to you. He's like, come on, the Fury in your universe, would he lie to you? And he's
Right.
like, no, he wouldn't. So he comes down and he's just like, here's the thing. I'm not the Fury of your universe. And he hits him in the head with a rock. And then he carries him back.
Right. You're going through that fucking
Going
portal.
through the portal,
Get in the portal.
right?
Yeah, but Virginia's a dog.
Well, yeah, she did that to track him down. She like betrays him in a way.
Yeah. She's like, I live in the universe.
Yeah, I want to live.
I don't
want everybody to die. So they use the lightning. Magneto opens the portal, and then they got to get Rajas through, but he's knocked out. So Fury bites one for the team, and he goes in with them.
Oh.
Okay.
So he leaves with them, and then like all this crazy energy is released from it, and it's over. And for a moment, everything kind of goes black, and our normal history happens. Roanoke starves. Virginia Dare turns into a deer and is shot.
Oof.
And everything goes as it should.
Okay.
But she actually turns into a deer in a shot.
Yes. Yeah, they
Yeah.
leave Virginia Dare actually having powers, or Dare as having powers, and she is shot. And she dies. And like, so everything goes the way it's meant to go, and everything seems healed and good. And so Watu goes to talk to like his like head watcher, and they're like, yeah, all right, I know we interfered, and like that sucks, but like really this is your shame because like you should have seen like this happen and blah blah blah. But like it's also we're proud of you, like we're simultaneously ashamed and proud of you.
Yeah. Like you broke every like rule that you're supposed to, but
Yeah.
it did save the universe.
Exactly.
You should have seen this happen. I did see it happen.
I know.
I am
You
a
should've-
watcher.
you should've
So
seen
like
it coming.
That's
you're
all
a
I
great
do.
person, but a terrible watcher.
Right. So what they do is they give him a gift, and they're like, this will remind you of your shame, but also is a reward for what you did. And they give him like this little tiny thing, and it's the 1602 universe.
Like we put it in a little box.
Yep. And they give it to him, and the 1602 universe can go on.
Oh.
And so the idea is that like for them, the universe ended for a moment, and then everything came back
Okay.
because they got plopped over there.
Right.
And so now the 1602 universe is its own universe. It is itty bitty. It's tiny. It's just this. It's just really this, just this. And we see some of the fallout from what happened. All the energy that went out. Banner and Peter were out and about in that. Banner like jumps on Peter to save him, and he absorbs all the energy.
And Peter gets a little bit.
Oh.
No, he doesn't get any of it.
Damn it!
God,
and
damn it.
Clea leaves. She's just like, Strange is dead. Because like he falls silent after that. Like it's over. So he's completely gone. She's like, Strange is dead. There's nothing keeping me here. I'm going back to my own dimension. And she leaves.
Right.
And they're like,
Oh, which friggin' dark dimension does she go to?
to her dark
Russia?
dimension. Well, to the one of this universe.
Right, the
presumably.
1602 dark
Yeah.
dimension.
So then Thor leaves as well. He's going to go speak with his father, Wotan. I'm sure that's just Odin, but whatever. But so he leaves, and like they're going to deal with Donald as well because he's in there, like in him screaming. He's like, I can't be happy with that.
Right.
So then Magneto's like, Xavier, I'm going to leave. I want you to take Wanda and Petros, and I want you to train my children. Yeah, they're my kids. Don't tell them that though. I don't want them to know that they're my kids because then they're going to think like that I should like hang out with them or hug them or something, and I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to hug them.
I'm still very
I'm not a
ingrained in the
hugger.
church.
I'm not. I just don't like that.
Do
all right?
not like to
just
be
not
touched.
doing that. So we see the Hulk is let loose in the New World, and
And he's gray.
right, and Peter and Virginia are together. And while he's hanging out with her, he's got his hand on her shoulder, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a little spider lands that is green and radioactive and bites him.
Yay.
And she's just
Finally.
like, and she's just like, he's like, oh, a spider bit me, and she's just like, oh, relax, it's not the end of the world. Let's go home.
As it turns out, he is poisoned and dies.
Exactly. So that's 1602. Actually, what ends up happening is there is a Peter Parker or a Spider-Man 1602 book that they do later on.
Okay. Is it fun?
I don't know.
Oh.
Who teaches him about responsibility?
I know,
Yeah.
right? It's not written by Gaiman, so I don't really care. They do a couple of other ones that involve Iron Man too. I think there's one about the Fantastic Four. We have them somewhere.
Oh yeah, Iron Man wasn't in this.
Yeah, well, because Gaiman admitted he's like, I didn't know what to do with it, so he's just like, he's like, what are you gonna do? Steam power? We'll cook them alive in there. No. So, by the way, Peter Parker, 1602 universe, is killed by Morlun.
No. Of course he is.
Yeah, but Morlun sucks.
I know.
Yeah.
So, but there you go. This book is like, it's not a whole lot of like action, but like there's so much intrigue, and I thought the story is so well like put
much
together
intrigue,
that like for me it's like once it gets going, it's like it's really spectacular.
Yeah.
I really was not expecting the twist that like, no, this is someone who is displaced out of time and set these actions into motion, and that's why you're
like, no, it
here.
has to be part of the Marvel universe. We have to explain. We can't just have it. It's got to be
like he decided that because like, and what I didn't tell you about his trip to Venice is when he went to Venice, he was looking around at everything around him. He realized just how close to us like the past can be and how like time, you know what I mean? Like it's just right there. And so like that got him thinking about time in general, and like. Yeah, so it just spiraled out of control from there, and that's where we got this book.
But it starts off being 616.
It is originally the 616 universe. This happened,
Right.
and then it didn't.
Right.
So
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
yeah, so they set it back to life. So in theory, unless of course Secret Wars change this, you could like this is a possible future for Captain America.
Yes, that's right.
This could always still happen.
Yeah.
So
And a little bit always exists with the Watcher.
yes, except he's dead too. But in Secret Wars, we actually saw the 1602 universe with Witch Hunter Angela. She like floats around in there and does her own thing. So if you guys want to pick up your own copy of Marvel 1602, you can check the description box down below. We got it.
If ye also want thine own transcripts of the scribing of the year 1602.
You can find a lot of cool things down in the description box. I can tell you one thing that's not down there. Ben.
Not this cat piece.
Why wasn't it 1616? That would be cool.
Because that's too on the nose.
Yeah. I guess also they wanted the death of Queen Elizabeth in there.
Yeah,
As a specific
Yeah. It's very
thing that
specific.
happened at a certain time.
So that's it for us, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Don't forget to check that description box where you won't find Ben. Won't find him.
Never.
And, we'll see you guys next time on the couch. I'm Tiffany.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
See you.